Hello, 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 people.
She's just echoing on her own. Hey, y'all.
I'm in a cavern.
Uh,
Hey, y'all. This is Life 401,
Advanced Shenanigans.
and that was Michelle.
Yeah, and that was Drea, who's in a cavern.
I'm in a cavern. Hello,
Not, not a cave. She's,
hello.
I guess, a cave is too basic. She's
No,
in a cavern.
there are stalactites here.
Are there stalagmites also?
No.
No.
I'm going to be very, 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 very honest with you people and say I still get those mixed up. Tights and mites. One comes from the ceiling, one comes from the ground. Which one? You tell me.
Mite is floor. Stalagmite
Oh, I
is
wasn't wrong then. I
floor.
thought tight was from the top and
Mite
mite
is from
the bottom.
the yeah.
Ah,
Mite as in moist, as in soil.
you can keep going.
Although it's definitely calcium salt.
Cal, 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 calcite.
No, just calcium salt. Don't make a
Oh,
new word.
I was trying.
Yeah.
I was attempting to, but oh well. Uh,
I think those are the creepiest ones.
but the ones from the top,
I think all of them are creepy.
none of them make sense.
I mean, it's from dripping water in a
I
cave.
mean, yes, that is correct. However, comma, all of a sudden now there's new ground. I don't like it. There's new ceiling,
You
and
don't
then none
like
of them are the
change.
same. I don't like change, and it's very chaotic because none of them are typically the same heights. But there is like a certain height, like where it just doesn't work, or they connect sometimes. It's just a whole thing.
Yeah, so stalagmites and stalactites usually reach out and touch each other.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand.
Yeah.
Make this world a better place.
If you can.
Thank you. Thank you. I was waiting for it.
Like, don't leave me hanging.
Um, I was watching you to see if you would. You did not. Thank you.
Hmm.
Anywho, guys, it's a week. We're here yet again. It's holiday times.
Yeah, it is.
It's the holidays, and because it's the holidays, we understand that some of you will be with your family. Some of you will be spending the holidays alone for the very first time.
Yeah.
It's it's not easy to enjoy yourself alone on the holidays for the first time. But I will tell you, if you can find the sweet spot, it's magnificent to be alone at the
I
holiday.
don't I don't think I've ever been alone on a holiday.
Ooh, Bella, I have, and I tell you what, there are times if you find the right equilibrium of like substances to sleep time to activity time,
Did you say substances?
yes, and then you can really really have a great holiday time. Now, I will preface it by saying there is a time limit. There's a definite beginning and end to when alone time i- is great. However, comma, I tell you what, alone during the holidays can be just as fun, if not more, than dealing with your family.
I guess so.
Especially now
Yeah.
when coronavirus is still around and not trying to die.
Right. But let me tell you, my I've never had like a holiday by myself, but without fail, every holiday, at least for a second, I wish that I was alone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, people who have to spend the holidays with their family, that's gonna be me this year. I'm gonna be wishing for the time I could spend alone. 'Cause you know what? I never hate me out loud.
Out loud.
Out
So,
loud.
yeah, but and usually for me, the time once I start saying, I wish I was alone, I wish I was not here, is when someone in my family decides to argue about something
Mhm.
holiday wise. This holiday season, it has started early.
The arguing?
Yes, my mom and sister got into it last night about sweet potato pie
Mhm. Oh, no.
because my sister read the directions on the pie crust about what temperature to put the oven on to blind bake the crust.
And that was incorrect according to your mother?
Yeah, bless everybody. I mean,
See, this is why you don't do things that require real recipes. You do things like mac and cheese and dressing, where
well,
it's what I say it is when I say
yeah,
it is.
but there was no recipe, just that sh my sister decided to blind bake the pie crust at the temperature, well, not even quite at the temperature that the package asked for.
Okay.
But my mother was upset
Oh no.
by it.
I oh no. I
I know,
just pro tip kids, be the only person who can make the thing you're making.
but no, 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 no. Pay attention.
Okay.
My sister is the only person that makes this.
Oh, wait a minute.
My stepdad taught my sister
Mm,
how to make these pies.
right.
He only taught her. My mom has never made a sweet potato pie.
Okay. So wait, how does mom have an opinion on how to blind bake it? You know what? That's not any of my business, actually. The
It's
moment
not
it came out of my face.
it's not it's not my business either, okay? It was not my business either. I mean, I was in the bathroom doing human things and I could
As you
hear
do.
them. Right. And then I came out and I'm standing at the top of the stairs and I'm like, what are we arguing about?
Who's in trouble, shall we? What's
Right.
happening?
I'm try- do I come downstairs or am I staying up here? Um,
I don't want to be a part of this, actually.
yeah. And then my mom got to the point. She was like, well, you know what? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. You do what you like. Do what you want. I don't know anyway.
No, you don't. Thank you for acknowledging that. Back.
Right. And so my mom was like, now the crust is gonna brown too fast or whatever. And I was like, well, Londa, tell my sister, you can do this. You can put foil on the crust part so it doesn't brown. And I was telling her how to do it. She was like, then it became, uh, Michelle, you don't know what you're talking about now.
Oh,
And
oh,
so I was like, okay.
actually, I should have stayed my happy ass back upstairs.
Right.
Hmm. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm the go-to person for like holiday menu, and it has become you're gonna cook it all. Just tell us what we need to buy and how much of it, because we don't know. And I have I Drea has attempted to teach every member of her family
I have to cook things.
how to do these things. Sister-in-laws, brothers, sisters, everybody. My mother knows how to do it, but she does it her own way. She does not do it the same way I do it. And my mother asks me to cook all the time too. And
Hmm.
my thing is, if I'm doing it, keep a beer in my hand and stay away from me because there's going to come a point where I'm tired of cooking
Yeah.
and you gonna come in and ask me something like, how much longer till the food ready? Or what you in here doing? Why you so upset? Bitch, I've been working all day. You got to watch the Macy's Day Parade. I did not.
I mean, do you really want to watch that?
I kind of do. We enjoy watching it as a family.
Oh,
I didn't get to watch the football games. I didn't get to see the whatever the cartoon was that came on television.
Charlie Brown.
Sure, I was in this kitchen chained to the stove
Oh, like a 1950s housewife.
like a 1950. Oh, right. And so when you're all happy go lucky because you have no responsibility other than play with your children or whatever, and you come to me and you're like, you seem tense. Oh, do I? Do I seem tense? Stay away from me. Keep a beer in my hand.
See, I feel like I'd be I feel like I'd be the perfect person to stay in the kitchen with you because I'm just all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play music, I'm gonna
Hmm.
dance, I'm
Correct.
gonna stay out of your way, and
Wonderful.
anytime you ask for me to do something, I'm gonna do it,
Great.
and I will make sure that your cup is never empty.
Thank you. That's all I need. Tell this lesson to my family members because they don't, they love to be like, well, I'm going to learn how to make it this year. And then I start
No,
working and I'm
they have to
trying to teach you. And then, oh, look, it's the Snoopy balloon. Oh, the kids want me to go.
get out.
Get out. Don't come back here 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour later being like, well, you never told me. I was in the middle of trying to teach you. If you want to learn, it's an all day affair.
Right. So I'm more likely to just watch and then have questions on the back end.
And that's okay. That I can do. I really don't mind asking questions in the middle or people like asking questions in the middle of it. My biggest pet peeve around it is like, don't say you want to learn how to do it. Ignore half the times I'm giving directions. Be literally everywhere but the kitchen for most of the day, talking to you, my sister, and then come back and be like, well, I still don't know how to do it. I wonder why.
Right. But I'm on a deliberate anti-learning streak because my mom is the one where if she teaches you how to make something, then it's no longer her responsibility,
That's real.
right? So
My
years
mother
ago,
my mother learned that I knew how to make these dishes and she has not done a holiday since.
yeah, so for me, years ago, my mom taught me how to make potato salad.
Mm,
My mother hasn't made potato salad since I was like at least in college. At least.
so jealous. I've never had like black people potato salad.
You can have it.
The eggs and the
I
meatball.
could make it without the eggs.
You can? I would
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's everything but the eggs.
I would like that. Because black people be like, I can't change my recipe.
You just take, look, let me tell you something. I mix everything up, scoop you a little bit out, put the eggs in the rest. Like, it's not that hard.
It's just so many extra pieces. But I think I want to make a hot potato salad, like a grilled potato salad.
Oh, like that, like at that restaurant we would eat at.
Hmm.
Yes.
I think I
I,
want to learn how to make one of those.
yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen for the first of the holidays, but it might happen for the second.
I don't know. Just save me some. I would like to try it.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. But like, my mom was always like, "Well, let me teach you how to make this thing." And now I know it's a trap.
It is.
Like the pound cake that I make, my signature pound cake, the
Hmm.
very first, my mom. My mom taught me how to make
It's a
that.
passed
And
down recipe.
yes, and the paper that is on is printed out like someone typed it up. Maybe she did, maybe I did, I don't know. Has
Hmm.
misspelling, so I'm going that I typed it. But it's it's old enough that you can see like the grease stains from people touching it.
Oh no.
You know. So
Yeah.
and so I finally like I started putting recipes in sheet protectors. So it's now in a
Ooh.
sheet protector, and on the back of the recipe, I've written out the variation for a lemon pound cake. So
Ooh.
that part's handwritten on the back. So some lucky niece or nephew will get that one day when I die.
Look, I'm going to tell you one thing. Bakers are sorcerers. I cook. I can cook. I do not bake. And you bakers, there's a special kind of like brain function that allows you to be able to do that. Because
I
I've
feel
tried
like you can.
baking before. I'm not a horrible baker with the recipe, but I'm not a good one either.
I think so. Baking is a science, but it's also an art.
Yes, I've got the science part.
But you have to have the intuition to know that, this cake is looking a little dry, or I'm looking at this batter and it's a little wet. Like you have to
There's
know
some
that.
discernment that happens there. And I
Yeah.
don't have it. I've tried. I've tried, and while I make things that are edible and that the art's good relatively, they're never pretty. Like I'll make a pretty like dish for food,
Mhm.
but I don't make pretty bakeware, like baked goods. It's never pretty, but it's always delicious.
Honestly, I bake, and for me, in a personal standpoint, to me, the things that taste the best don't necessarily look so pretty.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
thank
Like
you.
you're like you made me feel better. Like
I appreciate that.
I like I like the cakes that people made at home, and you can tell that they didn't level them or nothing, and
That's
so they
me.
kind of
That's me.
round.
Yes,
But those cakes be so good.
they're delicious. They work. They
And
just
I like a
not
pound
pretty.
cake I like a pound cake that maybe stuck a little bit in the pan. Like
Yeah,
for
there's some rough edges. There's
yeah.
like you ran out of cooking spray, so you use straight butter. Like
Oh,
it's
so first of all, if you're gonna do that, just this is Michelle's tip. If you don't have any of the baking spray, then you have to go old school where you butter and flour the pan.
yes.
But you just said straight butter.
Oh no, you
Look,
butter and then you flour and then you knock it.
you knock the flour,
You
the
knock the
excess
flour.
flour. Yeah, you have to put the flour in, and
I know a few things.
you do.
They're not great, but I do know a few.
Yeah, I don't think everything needs to be cute. I think if I have to choose between pretty and taste, I go with taste,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, guys, we survive the holidays out how you can. If that means you've got to find, like for me, I know I'm going to be in homes with a large amount of my family. Many of them will be children. And you guys have been listening to me for a while. So ideally, you know that that's not my forte. Um,
It's like that's not my ministry, y'all.
that's not my ministry. So I know I will be taking my quiet time where I can. Um, for me, I tend to wake up early. That's just the old lady in me now wakes up at like 7 a.m. is like, we're ready to go. Uh,
Mm-mm.
but usually, the children might be awake, but they're being quiet, usually.
Your
You
kids do
know,
that? Your family, the kids in your family do that?
oh, if the adults are mainly sleeping, we're going to do our best to be quiet for at least 30 minutes. So even if they've woken up, they're going to, because they know we don't want to be bothered.
Oh,
Now, if they
not in
come
my
in,
family.
if they also are real good at like peeking in the room to be like, has they woken up yet? Like, one of my nieces, um, who's like 6, she's great at being like, I'm gonna just take a peek. And if she sees even like potentially your eye is open, or like you might have your phone in your hand, all of a sudden you're awake. Hello, hi. You have woken up, which means I can talk to you now. It's like,
That is not what it means.
I was alone with the door closed. I didn't want to talk. But,
S-
you know,
You know what? My 6-year-old niece doesn't understand that concept either.
it's not a learned thing yet for them.
No. I don't think kids learn that until they now want to be left alone and then they're like, "Oh,
I Yes and no, because like even with our teens, if they want to be around us, you got to like grab hold of that time while you can. Because the moment they're done being around you, oh,
they're
they'll let you know.
like bye bitches." But
Ghosting. And you don't like if you walk in a room and they're all together, huddle over their phones, you run away. It's not
it's bad. It's bad.
witchcraft is happening. Get away from them.
Witchcraft. Oh my God. So the thing new for me is this is the first time that the first time in a quite a long time that my family were all gonna be together in the same house for Thanksgiving. Like
Sorry,
we
someone who lives
really
that all the time. I apologize for you.
so I mean, we're gonna see how it goes. We haven't done it in a very long time. The last time we did it, one of my sisters only had 2 children. She now has 3. Um, and it was Christmas. They just came and they hung out for a couple of days. But we all decided that we're gonna,
Well, you guys are going together to a place.
yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean, again, find those pockets where you can. If that means you're waking up early, if that means you're staying up late, if that means they all of a sudden was like, oh, 1, 2, 3, dip. Like, the house I'm going to be at for Thanksgiving, they know, like, Auntie Nisha will dip outside and not tell you.
that will be me.
Auntie Auntie D, she's outside, and I'll just be out there for a minute, and then I'll come back inside much calmer.
Yeah, no, I looked up some places I can go. Like there's
Mm,
this like bar and restaurant that I might just be like, I'd be like, where's Felicia? Or there's a Wendy's really nearby within like walking distance.
yeah,
I might be at the Wendy's. I don't need any food. I'm just here.
I'm just here. I'm just trying to get away. Unfortunately, my siblings live on military bases, so
Not far for you
not
to go.
not far for me to go. And many of the places I would go, like say I wanted to go to like the PX, I would need a military ID that is valid, which I no longer have. So I would need to bring a child or a human with me who could purchase those items. Um, but I could also just be like, I'm going to the PX and sit in the food court all day. I will find a way.
It's like give me the military ID I most resemble. Thank you.
Mm,
It don't
it's
work, I
gonna be my
know.
brother. It's gonna be my brother.
And they're
And
gonna be like,
you're
so
not a
you
6'1" man. You're just not.
yeah. So I mean, or take one of the adults with you. they'd probably be happy to run away for a while.
I mean, in theory, yes, but in real life, that's a whole negotiation. It's a whole thing. So I'll just walk outside. I'll be like, oh, I'm going on a neighborhood walk, guys. And yeah,
You know, there's a church right near where we're staying.
go in there and claim sanctuary.
I'm gonna go church, and they're gonna be like, the heathen is at the church. Yep.
Yes. I wanted to hear yelling from someone not my family.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they aren't arguing about how you cooked the greens.
No, no. Here, that's the one thing. Like, we don't argue about how you cook something. Like, if you're in charge of cooking it, it's because you have consistently made it in a way that allows us to be like, I'm not questioning this anymore. The questions become like if you're about to change the recipes for anything, and you're like, why would you change it? But, and it better be a good change. But
No,
like occasionally I'll be like, I'm gonna put chicken directly in the dressing.
yeah, that's cool. Do it.
Yeah. But we don't, if you're in charge of doing it, you're the one, we're not arguing about how you're doing it.
Have you met my mom?
Yes.
No one can
I'm
cook
sorry,
things.
Michelle. Like,
No, I'm just saying, like, no one can cook things the way she likes them. Not for
yeah,
real.
you're right.
Oh, and oh, my family, my sister and my mom are quite upset with me
Why? What you
because
do?
I knew that my homemade vanilla was getting low and I didn't make a new batch. And so they were like, so things don't taste the same. And then I'm
Oopsies.
like, you went years without this homemade vanilla and stuff, and all of a sudden now you can't live without it.
You are used to getting the McCormick's vanilla all your life.
Right. And then I started because vanilla is stupidly expensive.
It is.
And what I can like what you pay for that little tiny ass bottle is the same amount you can pay for two or whatever vanilla beans, and I can make a whole wine bottle full of
Yeah.
extract and it tastes better.
I mean,
But yeah,
correct. But I'm sorry. Like, it's not my, I'm not the only extract maker ever.
right. Like, yeah, I know how to make this. It's not something fancy I do. Like, it's not like you can only bottle it on a full moon and you have to
No. Not only bottle
walk
it on the food.
counterclockwise.
You have to
Like,
set
you have
some
to walk
stones out.
counterclockwise 3 times.
You have to make
Right.
sure you have
None of
charge
that. Like,
stools. Like, no, you don't.
no. There's no like sacrifice to the ancestors.
You don't have to
Nothing.
burn anything. It's fine.
Right. Like, you just need good vanilla and okay liquor. Like good vanilla beans, okay liquor.
I mean,
And patience.
see, that's what I don't have.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. I feel. Hmm, I was saying it as a joke, but I guess
I
not.
don't have any I don't have any patience either. It's not a dig on you, girl. I'd be struggling.
It's
I've
fine.
been trying to figure out how I can make it faster. Like, can I boil it? Like, what happens if you boil? Like,
What happens? Let's experiment. But no, vanilla's too expensive to just be like.
right, right,
Anyway, we've turned into a baking podcast, guys. I'm
right. Oh, no, this is welcome to what's in your butt pan.
what's
Like,
in what's in your bun cake? Oh
yeah,
no. Anyway,
we're
we're
like
just
that.
saying.
We're like that musical. The musical. Do you remember the one with
No.
the pies? Sugar,
Oh,
butter.
Oh, waitress.
Yes, where all her life was all
I'm gonna leave you out
encapsulated.
here.
Why? No, where her life was all encapsulated in her
Did you
baking.
look it up?
No,
Okay.
see, I'm multitasking.
You're
This is a game.
playing a
Um,
game while
I
we're
am.
podcasting.
Yeah, I got to do something with my hands.
It's okay.
No,
Yes, I
I
know.
rem.
Waitress the musical. If you haven't seen it, it's great. If you haven't
Yes,
seen it, you can't see it right now, pandemic, but the cast album is great.
yeah. One day we might do an episode on musicals.
Oh gosh.
Oh, don't get
that,
excited.
that would be
That would that
amazing.
that would make your day, wouldn't it?
I'd be speaking so much.
It'd be your day.
It would
I'd let you
be
have it.
it would be all about me. No, but for those of you who, the holidays coming, you're depressed, you're about to spend time with your family. For those of you who are about to spend time alone,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Or
Uh,
or my condolences if it's not what you want.
yeah, that too. We understand. But there are ways to make it fun. I I spent what was it? Christmas alone last year, and I was at first I was like, "Oh, this is kind of sad. Like I'm not with my family." And then after about day two of being like, "Oh, Denisha, you don't, Drea, like there's none of these other people around. It's just you." Great. How many times can I make food and just gorge out?
Yeah.
There
Do
are
you
I
yeah, like
I stopped watching things in Netflix and Amazon about 2 weeks before that holiday break time,
so you
so
had
that I
plenty of
have
shit.
I have plenty of things, because that's where people mess up when they're like, I've run out of things to watch. It's like, yeah, you didn't store. You got to bank some stuff and then watch it all. That's great. And you have to pace yourself.
Yeah, pace yourself.
Pace yourself.
Um, but yeah, like there are definitely some things you can do. I'm thinking so holidays are hard for people in general.
Yes, God.
I think this holiday season because of Corona will be harder. Um,
In a
but
lot of ways, yeah.
in a lot of ways, but if you are a type of person or you're a person where it's a change for you to spend the holidays by yourself, go do something within
Yeah.
reason.
Like there are plenty of things that will remain open during this time. Like I love taking myself to the movies by myself. Just me, myself, and I going to the
It's a
movies on a little date for
it's a
myself.
great it's a great date.
It's a great
And
date.
and you don't have to put out.
You don't have to put out.
You
You
don't
don't
have
have to
to
worry about
argue.
somebody talking to you the entire movie. Like,
Right. You don't have to like compromise on the movie you want to see.
yeah, like it's a good one.
Yeah,
Um, Try a
it
new
is.
restaurant if you have the money to.
Yeah. And if you're in the spirit of giving back, there will be soup kitchens and things open that are feeding people. Go,
Constantly.
yeah, go give some of your time then.
Yeah. For those of you who are in Georgia, you can find ways to donate your time to the different campaigns that are going on for this runoff election. You can also
Yeah.
volunteer to be a poll worker for the runoff election. Like, if you plan to vote, you can vote as early as like mid-December. So, you know, there are
Get
things
you
to do.
some, yeah, there are things to do.
Get that I
Don't,
voted sticker for the holidays.
I know, right? Don't sit at home and like depress yourself
No,
if you.
like you don't have to be at home and sad and lonely if you don't want to be.
Mhm.
You could very much be at home and not sad and lonely as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Uh,
leave.
I'm here to validate your feelings. Like, if that's
Yeah,
what you want to do, okay. But maybe still take a bath. I'm just saying.
that one, baths, you know, find exercise if that's your bag.
Yeah, that is not my bag.
Don't start drinking too early.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yeah, yeah,
She's like, duh.
duh. I mean,
I
I mean,
remember
the
Christmas.
holidays are for day drinking. Let's not lie. But
No, holidays are for family. Now, just because your family might day drink,
okay, my family has understood that we are all adults who live, work, breathe, and, exist separately from each other solid 99% of the year. So when we are together, we would like to have fun. The easiest way to have fun with a bunch of people who never see each other. But also,
games. Oh, are
yes,
you
we play
sports?
games,
Not
we
drinking.
eat food, and we drink together. It's a whole thing. We exercise, we go for hikes and walks as a family. We we play with the children. We usually kick the children out at certain times, play games together, and then we drink.
Hmm, interesting. So, one of the things that I know, and this is speaking of it, one of the things I know that my family does, and we've been doing it a lot more because of the pandemic, we're watching things together.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like
How's
we
that going?
started. I mean, it's okay. So it goes pretty well until our schedules keep us from each other.
Uh,
So, like, we watch The Masked Singer together, but we
mm,
haven't seen the latest episode because um it comes on what, Wednesdays. Wednesday nights I go work
I
out.
don't know.
I know it was a rhetorical question, not for you.
My bad. I'm sorry.
I know you don't know. Wednesday nights I go work out, so typically we watch it on Thursday on demand, right?
Hmm.
Except this time my sister was not here, so we haven't seen it.
Oh, boom. Yes.
Right. But also we started watching Black Lightning together.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we only watch it together. And Black Lightning is like a family show in a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways. In a lot of
So,
ways. There's a lot of like family elements to it.
yeah.
I don't know that I call it a kid show.
I didn't say a kid show. I said a family
Like
show.
that's what it's technically like categorized as, but I don't think it is.
Um,
It feels very YA.
yes, yeah, young adult, but like I'd like to think that I am a young adult.
I look, according to my young adult choir when I was growing up, young adult doesn't end until you're 35.
What? What? No, that's clear. Uh,
35. That is when young adult ends.
so what you're telling me is somebody couldn't cut it in the big choir, so they had to come back to the young adult
They
choir.
were in the young adult choir.
Uh-huh.
It's a mess. But I will continue to cling to that. I will be 30 for the next 3 years, and then I'm going to be 35, in which case I will no longer call myself a young adult.
Okay, that's fine. But no, so like I brought all that up to say, you guys, I know you don't know it, but this episode is about movies.
Oh, yeah, we do have themes. We did our homework this time, guys.
We did. This episode is about movies.
Whoop, whoop.
So, I we tasked each other with finding like well, we started out and Denisha was like, I have so many movies.
Several
And
movies.
then
I
we
have a movie for every category.
right. And so I was like, no, 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 no. We can't be on here for 3 hours. Um,
Rude.
yeah, and then so she was like, top five then? I was like, no, five is a lot. That means there are 10 movies we're talking about.
Didn't want to let me live, guys. She did not
No,
want to let me live.
I did, but I know how you're a movie buff more than me, I
Okay, more
think.
than you.
Yeah.
I enjoy film. Film is how my family and I came together in a lot of ways because we didn't have cable. So we would gather around and watch movies a lot.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, that's just how we connected to each other a lot of times. So I've watched a lot of
Right.
films.
Right. So, I allowed her. I said, "Well, let's do four," and she was like, "Okay." I really only wanted to do two each, but I knew she was gonna fight me on that. So
Correct.
here, and then I mean, like these are some
Michelle
things
was
that
not wrong.
these are some things that maybe you can watch over the holidays. Now, I don't know about her movies, but my movies are not holiday themed at all.
No,
But
no. We'll
but then
talk
it,
about some holiday themed ones maybe.
maybe. But then like I realized I'm not a big holiday movie person.
Mm,
Um 'Cause I legit with a very straight face sat and asked my mom and sister the other day. I was like, where are the movies? Where are the holiday movies where someone's trying to kill someone on Christmas? Like someone's after someone on Christmas, like the stalker. And they were
oh,
like,
like
I
Home
don't.
Alone.
Home Alone isn't. Home Alone is funny as shit, and Home
Home
Alone
Alone's
is a
hilarious, but they are legit trying to kill a child. Like
yeah, but Home Alone is all about child neglect,
that too.
straight up child neglect,
Yeah,
and
not wrong.
it looks cute because they're like middle class.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, but he has his whole big old house. Like, let that have been like some lower middle class or like poor
Low income
family.
family.
Yeah, they would have been like, oh, it's child abuse and you're neglectful. How can you forget your child?
Yeah.
Honey, children forget themselves, all right?
You know
But
how many
yeah,
times I have been like, I went into a store for one thing, gotten through the entire store, and then realized I never got that one thing. That's how children are sometimes.
yeah,
I, I don't know what else they want from me.
I don't know. But then like I saw real quick,
Yeah.
I saw a meme about that and it was like how they're like, how did the dad afford this huge house? And then it
And
was
they all had tickets to Paris.
right. So like how did they afford this huge house and all these tickets to fly? It was all of them. And then it cut to a clip of the guy who plays the dad. Apparently he was in The Sopranos and he was an associate of the mob boss in The Sopranos. They
He
were like, oh,
was.
so they were like, oh, there we go. That's
There we
how.
go.
I thought that
There
was
we
like
go.
hilarious.
Look, it does not make sense for him to have been able to afford that giant house, which most likely was in a great neighborhood. Also, tickets for his family of like 20 to go to Paris,
Right.
plus the accommodations that would be had
Needed.
needed in
Right.
Paris. And then what is it? The year he gets left in New York, like he has enough money to be at the plaza.
Right. Because he gets to see old Trump.
Like he's at the plaza for multiple days during the holidays, which I don't know about you guys, but that's the most expensive time of year to book stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah. So that movie is all about neglect. But without further ado,
no,
yes,
no, Mimi.
we're gonna do it.
Oh
Oh
no.
my God. Here are the list of some movies that Drea and I think that you should watch before you die.
Sure. All right, you
Okay?
gotta go first.
I gotta go first.
Okay, we'll back and forth it.
Back and forth it.
Back,
Okay.
back, forth, and forth.
I love you. You're so great. Never change.
Thank you.
So, okay, I'll go first. One of the movies that I think that people should see before they die,
Okay.
especially like girls and whatnot, is the movie Ever After.
Really?
Yes.
Am I thinking of the right film?
It's
It's
the one with Drew Barrymore. It's the Cinderella
I
tale.
am thinking of the right one and correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would agree.
yeah. And so like the thing that I liked about this telling of Cinderella, one, there was, and first of all, let me a disclaimer: I am a Disney fucking kid. Still am. I'll be 89.
One of my films is a Disney film.
Yeah, and so like
No
I,
shame.
I decided not to. I bet I know what it is. Um, I decided that I was gonna like not do a Disney film, even though everyone needs to see The Little Mermaid, just because. Um, that's my favorite. I'm biased.
Sure.
But Ever After is like Cinderella in the real world, in the sense that there's no fairy godmother coming to save your ass. Like this whole movie is a commentary on a lot of things.
Yeah, it's a really good portrayal. Drew Barrymore does a splendid job in it for for Drew, and I think it is a really good film. I didn't think about it that way.
But yeah, I really like this Cinderella version because for one thing, the main character is just really trying to live her life in this world with dealing like playing the cards that she's been dealt.
Yeah.
And my favorite part is at the end where let me not ruin it if you haven't seen it, but let me just say that
I mean, it's the story of Cinderella.
except except in the story of Cinderella, like they don't really talk about what happens to the evil stepmom and the stepsisters,
No, they
right?
don't. Yeah.
But this telling is closer to like how fairy tales used to be done. Like,
Where it got depressing at the end.
yeah, because they do something like the villains get punished,
Yeah.
right? And so like in this end, the Cinderella character gets her some revenge on her stepmom and her stepsisters. But also, really the best part of this whole movie is that the well, that's a good part, but also the male protagonist,
Yes.
he apologized, like he gets down on his knees and apologizes to her.
That never happens, especially not
Never
in Disney
happens.
movies.
Right. Right. Like in like the Disney retellings, the females mostly are like helpless and they have to be saved
Yeah.
and all this type of
And even like
stuff.
when the guys acknowledge that, maybe they fucked up, it's like, I could see why you might be mad.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
that. Like, it's
Yeah.
never like an earnest feeling of remorse.
Right. And like he really gets on his knees and apologizes and proposes
Take
because when
note,
he
men
yeah, but he was like an asshole because when he found
and
out that
women.
she right yeah, everyone
Sorry.
apologized.
Apologize.
When he found out that she was not like rich or royal like she said she was, he was a snob and he like treated
He was
her
a bit of a
badly.
dick.
Yeah, even though he was in love with her,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Because
yeah.
appearances, man. Appearances.
Yeah, man. After you was running away from trying to be in a forced marriage.
Now you in love, but you mad because she ain't rich. What? Either
You
you care or
rich.
you don't. You
Right.
hella rich. You don't
You
both need
rich.
it.
Right. You being greedy. No, so don't be greedy.
Don't be
And
greedy.
yeah. So what's your first
Okay,
one?
my first one, I'm gonna stick with the Disney-esque theme, and I'm sure Michelle can guess it. It's a Goofy movie.
Yes, it is.
It is a goofy movie. And I'm telling you right now, it was one of my family's favorite films as kids. Continues to be one of our favorite films. I shit you not, just last month, something came up where we were talking about the Goofy movie, and we all proceeded to just send GIF after GIF after GIF of the Goofy movie
I love it.
to each other in the group chat. It was the best. But it is okay. So when I was a kid, I really identified with Max. I thought Max was cool as fuck. I thought he was funny as hell. He was out here just trying to make a name for himself. He really was just trying to be his preteen self.
He was trying to
Trying to,
glow up.
he
He
was
was trying.
trying to glow up hard. And I understood. And his dad was over here like, well, I just want to be a family and let's hang out. And it didn't match. But let me tell you, I have gone back and watched the Goofy movie as an adult. Goofy is the best father, hands down. Best Disney father, period.
Yes.
Effie. He is the best Disney father. He is raising his son alone.
Yeah, where is the mom? Is she dead?
We don't know. We don't know what ever happened to Max's mom.
We never meet her.
We know later on he tries to date Clarabelle, the
Who
cow.
is a cow?
He's an interspecies love type of dude. You know, he doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He said love is love, okay? And he's raising his child on his own. We later find out on a high school education because in A Goofy Movie 2, he decides to go back to school
Mhm.
with his son. He goes and attempts to glow up himself
Yep.
and get a college degree. So he's
Mhm.
raising him uh, with a high school education by himself. They live in a good house in a
Yeah.
good neighborhood. You know, his car is a bit jank, but you know, it happens. The house isn't perfect, but they are the quintessential like middle income family. Like
Yeah.
they're just making it. He's going trying to send his son to high school. He's worried about making sure his son stays on the straight and narrow,
Mhm.
trying to get advice from his friends who he thinks are doing better. So like, how can I improve our lives? He takes his son on a cross country trip, which I'm sorry, the will to want to stay in a car with your
For
child
that long.
for that long, Goofy, you cared, hands down. And then of course there are wonderful shenanigans that happen. And then the end, you get to hear Tevin Campbell as Caroline. Like the music is dope. The
Yeah.
story is beautiful. Whether you look at it from the son's point of view or the father's point of view, like the evolution of their relationship is gorgeous.
It is.
The cinematography is great for a 1994 film. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't say more positive things.
Yeah, like I really a Goofy movie is on my list of like good movies too. Um, I thought the character development was really good
Hmm.
because
Even the
Max,
side characters.
yeah, because like Max goes from a like that teenager, oh, you're so embarrassing to me, dad, to no, my dad's freaking cool and I am so lucky to have him.
Yes. And like you watch their relationship really grow. Even in a Goofy movie too, you continue to watch their relationship grow in new
Yeah,
ways. And I'm just here to tell you, baby, it's a good one. It's a good one.
I agree. I
It's
agree.
fun for the whole family, but also if you're a grown ass person, still fun.
You can find some things to identify with.
Yes, you absolutely can.
Like as an aside, that's one thing I enjoy about Disney movies in general. Like in general, the movies age pretty well in general.
Yes, yes.
There's
Goofy
some that
movie surprisingly ages pretty. There's a couple lines in there that you're like, there's some stereotypes that are a little dated, but for the most part.
Yeah,
Well,
it does. And I think there's something to be had whether you're the kid watching it or the parent or whatever.
yes, yes, without a doubt. But at me, Goofy's the best father that Disney ever produced. Period. Point blank.
Um,
Name a better Disney father. I'll wait.
yeah,
That's
'cause
right. It's
yeah,
Goofy.
yeah. Although I would say that I feel like Maurice from Beauty and the Beast needs to get a nod.
He gets a nod. I would give a nod to Mufasa. You know,
Yeah.
they weren't horrible fathers.
Well, see, Maurice, the thing I like about Maurice is that he didn't give a damn. Like he supported whatever Belle wanted to do. Yo, you reading? You want to do some? You want to be smart? Cool. And then when she got taken, like when she sacrificed herself, he wasn't like, "Oh, woe is me." He was like, he went back to that town. I don't give a damn if y'all think I'm crazy or not. That beast got my baby. We need to go
We
back.
need to mobilize. Yeah,
Right.
he was a ride or die. I I will tip my hat to Maurice. I will tip my hat to Mufasa. I'll even tip my hat a little bit to Simba as a father. He was okay. But hands down, best father out here, Goofy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one of my films I'm like, gotta see. If you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch.
Yeah. I think it is too.
It's your number two.
So. Um, all right. It's gonna get a little weird, just a little
Okay.
bit. I think a movie that everyone needs to see is Rear Window by
Hmm.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
I've
It
not
came.
seen it.
Okay, I won't ruin it too much for you. So it came out in 1954,
Hmm.
right? It's based on a short story that came out in 1942. Um, Jane Stewart, Grace Kelly, and some other people. Um,
Mm,
and I watched it for the first time when I was in undergrad. I was taking a film studies course,
okay,
and we had a 1 or 2 weeks of Alfred Hitchcock movies. And it
got
was
it.
about the art of storytelling or the art of suspense, right? And so, short little like synopsis.
Synopsis.
I was words weren't coming. Um, so there's a guy. He's a professional photographer, and he he had broken his leg, and so he was stuck in his apartment in a wheelchair, and he couldn't see, and so he was a he was a photographer, so he's used to looking at shit. So he was
Hmm.
looking like it got really hot. He's in Manhattan. It
Right.
was really hot. It was the summer, and he was watching his neighbors who was keeping their windows open to stay cool.
Hmm.
And so he's looking at all of them and just like making up stories about them. But he witnesses what he thinks. He hears someone scream, "Don't," and the sound of glass. And he witnesses what he thinks is a murder,
Hmm.
right?
This film is ringing a bell. I got this now.
Yeah. And
Yes.
so, like, it's a lot going on as a girl, and like, there's a dog. And so, here are the reasons why. And then so, they found out what happened. I won't ruin all of it, but one of the reasons why I think people should see this movie is because not only does this man have one broken leg, by the end of the movie, because he just couldn't stay out of other people's shit, he ends up with two broke legs,
Root.
right? And it's crazy because I feel like it's the movie that tells you moral of the story is mind your own fucking
Mind your
business. So,
own fucking business, bitch.
right.
Yeah.
So like
There
mind your
is a
business.
remake to this movie. There
Uh-huh.
so there's like a 2000s era Shia LaBeouf film that is a modern retelling of this movie, and
Uh-huh.
I want to say it's called Disturbia. Um, or something like that. But yes, as you were telling me the premise, I was like, that I do know this movie. It is a good movie, and yes, the moral of the story is
And
mind
it
your
is
business.
and the remake is Disturbia.
The remake is Disturbia. Um, I had never seen Rear Window, but I have seen Disturbia.
Yeah, so Disturbia is a little bit different from Rear Window. And Rear
Yeah,
Window,
because he's in trouble. Like it's a different way that you get to the premise of
yeah, like
I'm
it's
watching my neighbors.
Disturbia is a little darker, I think.
I would
Rear
agree.
Rear Window is like it's suspenseful, but it's also kind of funny.
Oh, see, I might like that.
You
See,
might
the
like
reason
it.
I've never watched it, I don't come for me, but I have never watched an Alfred Hitchcock film because I don't do suspense. And he does suspense very well.
So well. So
Very well. And I don't like it.
yeah, no. So this one is kind of funny, but a lot of Alfred Hitchcock's things I don't do. Like I had to watch Psycho that same week.
Same. I've seen bits and pieces. I've seen
Yeah.
bits and pieces of like the birds
Yeah.
and
So like with
strangers on
Psych
a train, but never.
yeah, like with Psycho, before we even got to the actual movie, like the way it was set up, there was a part where Alfred Hitchcock is walking through like the set of like where the hotel where everything is set, and he's like, well, yeah, and then like something's like, well, no, we're not gonna talk about this thing that happened. I'm like, what happened? What? So like he's setting up the scene so well that the in the first 5 minutes I'm like shook, and then
Oh, same.
it was film class, and so we had class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but then we would come back on Tuesday night or Thursday nights
Mm-hmm.
and watch the movies.
Got it.
So then it was like 10 o'clock at night after I watched Psycho, and I had to walk from the building to my dorm room in the dark.
Sounds like a big old no. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, look, I'm alone at night too many times. I just don't, I gotta protect my peace. And Alfred Hitchcock does not allow me to do that. I'm not that girl. But but I do admit that his films are quite good. And I have seen the remake. And if the remake is 1/10 as good as the original, then I would recommend.
Yeah.
I would
So
recommend.
I haven't seen Disturbia. So I would
Really?
yeah.
Okay. Well, now you know about it. We can
So I
we
feel
can
like I need to go
switch.
watch that.
I
Yeah.
feel like yeah, that would be a good idea. Watch it and tell me if it is, you know, as close to the original as
Yeah.
one might hope, you know?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. It's your turn.
Oh, okay. My turn. My number two is a little independent film called Center Stage from the year 2000.
Never heard of it.
Really? Oh, girl. Michelle, let me set the scene. It's the year 2000. We are at the American Ballet Academy, and they are vying for a spot in the company because these are the eldest of the members of the academy. And it's a young Zoe Saldana, a young Amanda Jewell, a young Susan May Pratt, right? All vying for this number one spot. We're hitting all the pieces. We're looking at, you know, love affairs, love triangles. There's a love affair with an instructor because he's just a dancer and he's everybody's adults here. There's there's intrigue, there's LGBTQIA stuff. There is um they hit on racism because Zoe Saldana is black and she's vying for this like number one spot in one of the ballet performances. And it's like, well, you got too much of an attitude and you too a little too ghetto for me to be putting you
Oh.
as the face of a company.
Oh.
And then there's like the prima ballerina who's been doing this all her life, and everybody expects her to go on and become like a genius ballerina. And you realize, oh, she's bulimic. So we're dealing with eating disorders. We're dealing with like
Oh.
disappointing your families.
So many things.
It's so many. There's so many things. There's twists. There's turns. It's it's a great film. Every
Mm-hmm.
ballet performance, there are live ballet performances in it. Every performance is wonderful. Um, there's it ends with a song by Jamiroquai. It's if you guys know me, I love a good soundtrack. A good soundtrack will make or break a movie for me, and this has it in spades. Um, Plus, there's intrigue, and there's like the A plot is just as good as the B plot, which is just as good as the C plot, and it's wonderfully done. It did not make a ton of money. It was not a smash hit necessarily. If you would like to watch it, you can watch it on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
It's up there right now. Um, but yeah, it's a really great movie. I think they tried to make a sequel to it. I never saw the sequel.
Mm.
Um, but the original is bomb. And it came out in the same time as like Honey and Step Up and Save the Last Dance and all
Right.
those movies. So it kind of got lost in that shuffle, but it's such a good one. I will say it is the one movie my sister and I can put on and shut up, not talk to each other, and have the best time.
Interesting.
We can just sit and watch it and be happy. But yeah, it's great.
Interesting. You're like, this is my jam.
It's my jam. It's ballet based, but you're also dealing with like the men of ballet and the male side of ballet and the
Which you don't get to see a lot.
yeah, and like you deal with like you're watching people's feet bleed and toes come, bleed and
It
it's
happens.
also there's also comedy in it. It's also quite funny and there are parts of it that are quite dark and it's beautiful. It's a great coming of age film.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I recommend. Highly
Yeah.
recommend.
I'm gonna have to go find it. You said it was on Hulu?
It's on Hulu.
Okay. I might watch that.
I
That
will
might be
send you the trailer later on.
okay. That might be one of the things that I watched to get away from my family this week.
It's a good
Um,
one.
yeah.
All right, what's your number three?
My number three, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's The Silence of the Lambs.
What's up with you getting dark?
I
Getting
like dark
dark and
movies.
spooky.
I like dark movies. But The
Clearly.
Silence of the Lambs, um, is one of the movies that made me realize that I was in love with the mind
I could see
because
that.
we spend this whole movie. You've seen The Silence of the Lambs, right?
I've seen most of it.
Okay, so we spend the whole movie with this FBI lady trying to find the serial killer
Hmm.
by using by getting help from another serial killer.
Which, spoiler alert, is how the FBI actually did it when they first started learning how to profile.
Yes,
Like, that's
yes,
quite literally what the FBI did and was like, oh, let's talk to these other serial killers to try and help us out.
right. And so there's first of all beautiful cinematography to me. Like there's one scene where the agent is exercising, she's like jogging,
Hmm.
and it's so to me it was so realistic. I was like, shit is cold. Like I can tell you're cold. Like I feel cold.
That shit, it's cold.
Yeah. And I liked the development of the relationship between her and Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Like I think they sort of became friends in a weird way.
In as much as you can become friends with the subject of your own study. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, first of all, I think another reason this movie is like a week older than me.
Okay.
It is. I mean, it came and it came out on Valentine's Day. What a
Okay.
way to say, sweetie, I love you. Let's go watch this movie about
Let's
this man,
go.
about
This
this.
was for everybody who is going to be single on Valentine's. That's legitimately why they came out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, it's like this is like a reverse Valentine's Day. So
Yeah.
like, let's go watch this movie about a FBI agent trying to catch this one serial killer that skins his victims,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Because they
And
do.
yeah, he skins his victims, and she's gonna use the help of the man who eats his victims. Like,
Correct.
just so much going on. And I think Silence of the Lambs is so ingrained in pop culture that people don't people don't even think about it.
No. It's it's very much I knew about Silence of the Lambs long before I actually watched it.
Right. Right. And so like stuff like it rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the holes again. Like people
That's
will say that and they're like, you might not even know where the hell that's from. Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. I know I used to say it before. I knew.
Right. Or like Family Guy is known
Mm,
for like parodying it. So like there's a part in the episode of Family Guy where um what not Stewie? What's the other? The big son, the older
Chris.
son, Chris,
Chris
or
Griffin.
Chris Griffin, where he's like dancing around in his room and he's like, "Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me." And he's
Yes.
like, and I was like, "That's from Silence of the
That's
Lambs
from
when
Silence of the
Buffalo
Lambs.
Bill is dancing around in his skin suit."
Disgusting.
But like one last thing, because it is like if it's not your thing, you're like, mm-mm. But I'm a true crime person. I'm a like
Yes.
fucked up mind type of person. Um, my favorite person, I've watched this movie quite a few times. One
Clearly.
time, yeah, one time I watched it on A&E and they were doing like the extras behind the scenes.
Ooh, now I
So,
love stuff like that.
right. And so there's one scene in the movie where they recover a victim's body and they have her on like the examination table and their examiner is like there's something in her mouth,
Mm.
and so they pull the thing that's in her mouth out. So first you can hear her exhale
Oh,
if you're really quiet. And then two, they're like, oh, they find out it's a bug from such and such and such. But actually in real life, it was like chewed up Tootsie Roll. And I was like, oh, cool. So at least this person didn't have to sit there with something
with a
gross in their
bug
mouth.
in
They
their
got
mouth.
right. It was
Yeah.
like Tootsie Roll candy or some shit. I was like, cool.
Thank
But you can
God.
really hear the
Small
girl,
favors.
right. You can hear the girl exhale. And I was like, I heard it. So yeah,
Fun
I'm
time.
sorry. Fun times. If you're into watching if you're into weird shit like that, you're into thinking about how the brains of people who do
Fucked up
deviant
shit.
things, I was gonna say deviant,
Uh,
um,
I said fucked up.
yeah,
I said what I said.
yeah, like, and one thing I really like is it also leaves you with that thought that here's a person, Dr. Hannibal Lecter, incredibly smart. incredibly charming, and still he
Like
was
they
killing.
typically are.
Yeah, he was killing and eating people's livers with fava beans.
Lava beans are not great beans on their own.
They're not. And then you paired it with the liver.
You, I've got questions about not just your mental state, but also your taste buds.
Yeah, like what's going on with your palate? And then
I got questions.
what type of wine was it? Because he was like fava beans and a nice,
I
I
want to
can't
say
remember.
Cabernet or
Or it was something with starts with a C, I think.
Chardonnay, maybe
Mm-mm.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Mm-mm.
I don't
Ki-
know. Chianti.
That's it. That's it.
It's a nice Chianti.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's like
Yeah.
that doesn't seem this shit doesn't seem to go together, sir.
Don't know why, but he liked it. Um,
Yeah.
I did not go the scary. I don't watch scary movies like that.
I mean,
As
but these movies aren't like I don't watch scary like
they're
Jason.
suspenseful.
Yeah, like but you can't get me to watch like Jason, Michael Myers. The last scary movie I probably watched for real. Well, I watched Paranormal Activity. I wasn't happy about it, but I knew I wasn't never gonna watch scary movies for real again after we watched Candyman,
Mm,
and my
that's
stepbrother
when I
decided, yeah, my stepbrother decided to fuck with us that night. So yeah.
sounds like a big old no to me.
Mhm.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. What's your third one?
Oh, okay. So look, guys, I have a type, and I want to feel all the things when I think about a film. I want to feel happy. I want to laugh. I want to cry. I want to I want to have feelings. So my third movie is Steven Universe the movie. Don't at me. One, I think Steven Universe is a show that everyone should watch at least once in their life. But Steven Universe the movie is a beautiful piece of animation.
Is it?
It is wonderful. Again, the soundtrack bangs from start to finish. Bangs. The story is bomb. Like you you're dealing with him trying to come to terms with his mother's death for most of his life. But this is where he's really paying for his mother's mistakes, and it all kind of comes to a head in some really sad ways. Like
Mm.
he spends most of his life paying for his mother's mistakes and like dealing with the whole idea of like the sins of the father, in his case the sins of the mother. And then like looking at like him changing from being a child into being more of an adult, him having to help his friends who haven't dealt with their shit in the
Mhm.
midst of him dealing with his own shit. Like it's the epitome of like watching somebody trying to like pour from their cup when their cup is empty. Like throughout the entire film, yes, I cry. Yes, I laugh. Yes, I sing along.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah, like I know if I need a good cry, Steven Universe the movie. Watch it all the way through and cry my little eyes out at the end. Surely will. I don't feel bad about it, but yeah, it's a wonderfully done film. I think it's very recent. It came out in 2019. It was the kind of like interim piece to finishing the entire Steven Universe kind of universe in
Mhm.
theories. Um, I think Rebecca Sugar is a goddess, non-binary fairy that they happen to be. They they really capture what it is to like be introspective and understand that, like, just because your parents did it doesn't mean you have to do it. And you don't have to live up to your family's expectations of yourself. And you don't have to live up to your own expectations of yourself. Like, it's okay to change. It's okay to be like, oh, that was a mistake. I should not have done that.
Mm.
I don't know. Great film. Again, watch it. Watch the series first. I don't recommend you just watch the film. I do recommend that you watch
Yeah.
the series first. But it's a great series. It's really short. Like the episodes are like 15 minutes long. 20 minutes max. Mm. So it is something you can watch really quickly, but I do recommend it. Okay. All right, last but not least, what's your last film, Miss Michelle?
Okay. So I will admit that I cheated.
Bitch. 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 Why? How'd you cheat?
Are you done? You ready to?
No, I had a moment, but it's fine. You got it.
Okay. So my last choice is not really just one movie.
It's a series of movies.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. And I really I tried and tried and tried, but really I choose the Harry Potter series. Let me know when you're done.
All right, I'm
Okay, great.
done.
So I chose I chose the Harry Potter series. One, because I am a Potterhead. I am. Um, Team Ravenclaw, stand up. I know y'all out there. Um,
I am also a Ravenclaw.
yeah. And I read the books. Then the movies are a bit different from the books, but
Right.
not enough that it would put you off. Um, I think I have like a real deep connection to Harry Potter in general because like when I started reading the books, I was basically the same age that Harry was in the books, and so every time I get a new book, we were like at the same age. But I like the movies. I like it as a series because yes, it's the hero's journey, which is typical storytelling thing.
Mm.
But I think you learn some things in this series that you don't think about in general. Like here's this guy who he's the protagonist, but he's ordinary in every single way, sometimes below average, right?
Many times.
Many times. And the only way that he's able to do the things they say that he is supposed to do is with the help of his friends, one who is very, 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 very brilliant.
Yeah.
So it teaches you the value of cultivating friendships and being loyal because he lets it be known that no, like I couldn't have did none of this shit if it wasn't for all of y'all.
Yeah.
Harry lets it be known. Um, my personal feelings about J.K. Rowling aside, because I have
Because
some,
there are some.
I have many now with her. I think that she also did a great job of of showing that all it takes for evil to flourish is for a, a few good men to say or people to say nothing.
Yeah.
Like we ended up with this like dark lord and all this type of stuff because
Because y'all just
people,
let some shit go.
right.
Like, it'll be fine.
But then also there's this lesson of pay attention and take care of the people around you
Yeah.
because if Voldemort had been taken care of and actually cared for real, he might not have gone that way.
Yes. I would say that. I would say
Right?
that. Yeah. Okay. So I know I made all those sounds at the beginning. I have seen the entire series, and it is a good film series. It is well done. There are parts in there that I'm like, clearly you guys switched directors. It wasn't as well thought out here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there are a lot of great points in the series that touch on, the importance of networking, the importance of cultivating a good, strong network, the importance of, I feel like in a lot of ways, knowing your purpose as well
Mm-hmm.
and sticking to it. Because there were several times, not just Harry, but his friends had to come to terms with, like, I'm not the hero of this story, and that's okay,
Right.
especially for his friends. Um, and being like, you can be just as important and be, the side character. But I think it's a good series. I would definitely recommend it. People love to say it's a holiday movie.
And I never understood that. So my mom has an issue with it. She doesn't, first of all, she doesn't like Harry Potter. She let me read it because she pretty much let me read whatever I want, but we can't get her to watch it. We can't get her to read it. And she's always like, well, why the hell would you put, um, this movie on during Christmas when really isn't it more Halloween like? Because it's all about witches and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, typically it's because, like, one, it's filmed in ideally London or the UK, um, and it's cold a lot of the time. Like it's snowy and icy in a lot of ways. And then there are those like random big festivals that happen in the middle of the cold. Um, but yeah, I've never thought of it as a Christmas film or a holiday film, but people keep pushing it. The propaganda
Yeah, I
keeps
don't think
acting
it's a
like it is.
holiday
It's not.
film. I don't think it's a holiday film. And I don't think so because, first of all, they're actually in school.
Yeah, it's
And
like an August film.
I mean, they're in school. And then guess what they do for a holiday, for like Christmas break?
They go
They go
home.
home.
They go home.
Yeah,
They, in fact, they don't spend much of any time celebrating the holidays
right,
on screen.
right.
And usually when they are doing it, it's depressing.
It's depressing that first few times that it's depressing when Harry goes home to his non-magical family. But whenever he spends holidays and stuff in the wizarding world, it's better.
Yeah, it's much better. It's not great, but it is much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I of course you picked those films. That's fine.
I mean, I didn't
It
choose
was
The
a
Little
cheat.
Mermaid.
It
It
was
was
a
a cheat.
cheat.
I didn't choose The Little Mermaid. I didn't talk about my favorite holiday film ever, which I will be watching soon,
Gross.
The Nightmare Before
It's
Christmas.
not a holiday film.
It is.
I
It's
mean, it
every
is, but it's not.
Yes, it is. You can watch it from Halloween to Christmas. And if you're feeling fancy, you can pull it back out on Easter because the Easter bunny is kidnapped in the movie.
No, I'm not doing this with you. I'm not. My number four is a film I've spoken about quite a bit to Michelle. It's from, it hails of the year 1969, and it is the movie that made me understand why so many gay men have an obsession with Barbara Streisand. It is Hello Dolly.
I have still not seen that.
It is the one film I really, really believe that like humans should see. Humans should see Hello Dolly.
Humans should see Hello Dolly.
Humans should see Hello Dolly. It is one, let me tell you, it is supposedly set in like the 1800s, early 1900s.
It can't be though.
And it has to be. There's horse and buggies. She's wearing corseted dresses. There's all these parasols about. It is clearly of the late 19th, early 20th centuries. However, comma, the entire time Barbara Streisand has acrylic nails. She is wearing nothing but the glitz and the glam.
Right, like
She's speaking in a quintessential Jewish New York accent the whole time. It's
what is this?
it's the best. Again, the soundtrack, killing it. You can sing along. She somehow made Louis Armstrong become like a character and was like, "You will just sing and be you, Louis. How about that? I want him in this film." And it's like the entire staff is all white because, of course, it is. And somehow you have forced Louis Armstrong into this movie with a singing part where they must do a close up on his face. Like, it is clear she was in the back being like, "Put the black people in." Like,
Yeah, no. And if it was in the 1800s, he would have been a slave.
exactly. But not in this movie. He's a musician in a tux. And
I don't think this movie makes any sense.
no, it's great. Uh,
That's not it making sense.
it's in the late 1800s, and then it's in the late 1890s. I found a synopsis finally, and it follows Dahlia Levi, who is Barbara Streisand, and
Hmm.
she is like she's a and oh, okay, can you still hear me?
Hmm.
Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, um, yeah, she's a matchmaker, and her latest client, she has decided to matchmake with herself. But he
Wait,
is,
say what
yes,
now?
yes, he is looking for a wife, and she realizes like, oh, I'm gonna be that wife, and um, but in the process, she like makes for his niece and matchmakes for like his stock boys, and
Everyone gets a date.
everyone gets a date. And then like he's a cantankerous old man. He's like a rough and tumble old dude. And she's just like, actually, I'm a fun person, but I also would like you. So you must now become a fun person. And so it's a lot going back. It's directed by Gene Kelly, and it's really great. It did win an Academy Award for best like
That's
design,
what. Oh,
best production design, apparently. Um, I'm looking up any other awards. They also got an Academy Award for best sound mixing and an Academy Award for best original musical.
hmm.
Look at that. So they are Oscar winners in multiple categories. But yeah, it's a really good film, and yeah, watch it. And
Okay.
you'll see why so many people love Barbara Streisand, because I didn't get it. I didn't get it. And now I do.
Yeah, I still don't get it. So let me go watch it.
I later got it. I later understood. And now I'm like, yeah. I mean, but Babs is known for doing that shit. Like, she played an entire movie. I want to say it was either Yentl or like Funny Girl or something, where she plays a man. She
Okay.
presents as male for most of the film.
Okay.
And somehow you're not supposed to notice that she has like long acrylic nails on the entire time.
She does what she wants,
She does
apparently.
what she likes. And she said, I'm going to be beautiful and I'm going to sing wonderfully and you're going to love it. So, yeah, I
No, 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 no.
it's on Disney Plus if you're looking to watch.
Oh,
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
okay. I might hit it up.
You won't.
I have
I've tried
that.
to get you to hit it up so many times,
That's true.
and you do nothing but disappoint me about it.
I'm
Anywho,
sorry. I'm so sorry. What would you have me to do?
it's fine, whatever.
Oh, pro tip. When she says it's fine like that, she doesn't mean it.
I do mean it. It's fine. We've talked everybody's ear off for the last like 2 hours, and I'm
Yes, we
sorry,
have.
guys. If
We've
you're
been
listening to
here.
us, why?
No, keep listening. We want you to stay.
Sure.
What the hell?
We want you to stay. We want you to stay, please. I'm sorry. I'm a liar. I would like you to stay. Don't leave me.
Oh, that
Sorry.
got deep.
It got real deep.
She was like, don't leave me.
Don't leave me here by myself. No. Um but yeah, so it feel free to check out these films during this holiday time if you got some extra time to yourself.
Yeah,
But
and if you think of some other ones you think we should watch that we haven't seen, go right ahead. Let us know.
let us know. Let me know. I'd love to watch.
Let me know. Let me know.
We don't own the rights to any of this music.
We don't.
I'm just hoping that my voice is bad enough that they won't tag us. Anywho,
Oh, mine is definitely bad enough. Mine
um,
is 100% bad enough.
oh, jeez, I have to go do work for a little while and then run away. Run away.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
God bless us. Either way, thanks for joining us for whatever these shenanigans are. We are going to attempt to keep doing our homework. But you know, there's no promises. And and yeah, I've been Drea.
And I'm always Michelle. Sometimes Drea is not, I think. I think she takes her Drea suit off and puts a different suit on.
I do.
She is Buffalo Billy.
Yeah, I'm Buffalo Bill with my
No,
skin suit.
Billy, because Billy is how you do the girl version of
Oh,
Bill.
I'm Buffalo Billamina. And
You know what?
because Bill is usually short for William.
It
So
is.
Wilhelmina.
Yeah, okay.
I know what I was going for.
She said, I got a thing. I meant
I
it.
I was hip.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You're not a young adult, and it's okay.
I am a young adult. I'm
Okay.
barely making it through this adult thing.
I, no, just because you're barely making it does not mean that you're not on that level. It's like just because you're a level 99 like Archer and you keep dying doesn't mean you're not level 99. You just suck at level 99.
I mean, I would say maybe it's both. You never know.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Okay. My.
Ooh, ooh. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
No.